Now, you say LeBron, blah, 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 blah. So we're going to take an 8-year stretch. We're going to take Giannis's last 8 years in Milwaukee. We'll take Nikola Jokic's last 8 years in Denver. All of them won one championship. LeBron's a failure, so then so is Jokic and so is Giannis. Finals MVP, all three won Finals MVP. If LeBron's a failure, so is Jokic, so is Giannis.
As the Lakers will win Game 6.
When it comes to LeBron James, one criticism that often comes up is that some of his biggest supporters, whether in the media or online, are accused of lowering the bar when evaluating his career and overlooking expectations that would normally apply to other superstars. That argument becomes especially focused on his run with the Lakers from 2019 through 2026. Depending on how you view it, some people would say his time in Los Angeles was about even, with a championship balancing out several disappointing seasons. Others take a much harsher stance, arguing that judged objectively, the overall run fell short of what was expected. The biggest accomplishment was the 2020 championship, but critics often point to the unique bubble environment, noting there were no Lakers fans in attendance and no true home court advantage. Beyond that title, they also highlight that the Lakers missed the playoffs twice during that stretch, were eliminated in the first round 3 different times, and suffered 2 separate 4-0 playoff sweeps that many viewed as particularly disappointing.
Next.
Sweep. He said it's a sweep.
When you look at that overall playoff resume, the argument is that it's a mixed picture. The championship is obviously the biggest achievement and does a lot of the heavy lifting, but outside of that, critics point to the missed opportunities, disappointing seasons, and several playoff exits that didn't meet expectations. Some even argue that if LeBron had put together that exact resume with a franchise like the Magic, Pacers, or Kings, it would be celebrated as an incredible success, and he'd be remembered as one of the greatest players in that organization's history. But they say the Lakers are judged by a different standard. Because of the franchise's history and championship expectations, that same body of work is viewed by some as underwhelming rather than historic. Supporters of LeBron strongly disagree with that assessment, and they often see criticism like this as unfair or completely off base. That's why this debate stays so heated, with personalities like Shannon Sharpe frequently brought into the conversation when defending LeBron's legacy.
Giannis's last 8 years in Milwaukee. We'll take Nikola Jokic's last 8 years in Denver. All of them won one championship. Finals MVP, all three won Finals MVP. If LeBron's a failure, so is Jokic, so is Giannis.
He's an idiot. Don't listen to he's an idiot. All right, that's what we got to say about that.
The comparison to Giannis and Nikola Jokic might sound reasonable at first because all three have spent around 8 years with their current franchises and won one championship. But the argument here is that Shannon Sharpe leaves out one major factor: expectations. The Lakers aren't judged the same way as the Bucks or Nuggets because they're one of the most successful franchises in NBA history, and the standard in Los Angeles has always been championships. Milwaukee and Denver simply don't have that same history. The Bucks waited roughly 50 years between their first title in 1971 and their next championship, while the Nuggets didn't even reach an NBA Finals until Nikola Jokic led them there in 2023 and helped deliver the first title in franchise history. Before LeBron arrived, the Lakers already had 16 championships, so critics argue that winning one more doesn't carry the same historical impact that it does for Denver or Milwaukee. From that perspective, Jokic accounts for every Finals appearance and every championship in Nuggets history, while Giannis has been responsible for one of the Bucks' 2 titles. LeBron, meanwhile, added one championship to a franchise that had already built its legacy long before he arrived. The point being made isn't that LeBron's title doesn't matter, but that the expectations in Los Angeles are fundamentally different from those in Denver or Milwaukee, making direct comparisons between those situations much more complicated.
If LeBron's a failure, so is Jokic, so is Giannis. Now, but think about what we're doing here. We're taking LeBron year 16 to year 8, 24. Yeah. You're taking those guys in their prime.
The criticism doesn't stop with the team comparison. The argument is that Shannon Sharpe goes too far by putting LeBron James's later years in Los Angeles on the same level as what Giannis Antetokounmpo and Nikola Jokic have accomplished during their prime. From that perspective, after the 2020 title, critics say LeBron was no longer consistently viewed as a top 3 player in the league. Some even argue that during the 2020 championship run, there was a legitimate debate over whether Anthony Davis was the Lakers' best player. They also point to LeBron's All-NBA selections during his Lakers tenure. While he continued earning those honors, critics question some of the selections because of the number of games he played. They highlight 2019 when LeBron made third team after appearing in 55 games as the Lakers missed the playoffs. They make the same argument for 2021 when he earned second team after 45 games, along with third team selections in 2022 after 56 games, and in 2023 despite playing fewer than 60 games. Their claim is that LeBron's reputation played a role in those accolades, while players like Giannis and Jokic had to earn theirs through sustained dominance. From there, the comparison shifts to individual accomplishments. Giannis is credited with back-to-back MVP awards, a season in which he won both MVP and Defensive Player of the Year, 7 first-team All-NBA selections, multiple All-Defensive honors, and 7 straight years finishing in the top 4 of MVP voting. The argument is that for nearly a decade, Giannis was consistently viewed as one of the league's very best players. Jokic's resume is presented in a similar way, with 3 MVP awards, including back-to-back wins, 6 consecutive top 2 MVP finishes, multiple first-team All-NBA selections, 4 seasons leading the league in triple-doubles, and becoming the first player in NBA history to lead the league in both rebounds and assists during the same season. The discussion then moves beyond awards and focuses on the situations each player inherited. The point being made is that Denver and Milwaukee have never been major destinations for superstar free agents. Critics note that the Nuggets have rarely landed marquee names, while the Bucks have often been known for losing stars like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Ray Allen, with Giannis now becoming part of that conversation. By contrast, the Lakers have long been viewed as one of the NBA's premier destinations, where elite talent has traditionally wanted to play. The comparison ends by highlighting supporting casts, pointing out that Jokic's best teammate has been Jamal Murray, who has made just 1 All-Star team during his career. Jamal Murray and Chris Middleton are both quality players, nobody's denying that. But the argument here is that once you compare them to teammates like Anthony Davis and Luka Doncic, the gap becomes pretty obvious. Market size also matters because Denver and Milwaukee simply don't attract superstar talent the way Los Angeles has for decades. The Lakers have always been one of the NBA's biggest destinations, while the Nuggets and Bucks have had to build almost everything from within. That's why this comparison looks different when you step back and look at franchise history. The Lakers' legacy is filled with legendary names, from Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West, Magic Johnson, James Worthy, Shaquille O'Neal, and Pau Gasol to countless other Hall of Famers. From this perspective, LeBron James's Lakers chapter is only one part of a much larger story, with his 2020 bubble championship sitting much further down in the franchise's overall history. For the Denver Nuggets, though, Nikola Jokic is the foundation of everything because their greatest era starts with him. For the Bucks, Giannis belongs right at the front of the franchise's history alongside Kareem. Now think about it 25 years from now. Which championship is each fan base going to cherish the most? The 2021 Bucks title, the 2023 Nuggets title, or the 2020 Lakers title? The argument is that Milwaukee and Denver fans will always view those championships as once-in-a-generation moments because they completely changed the history of those franchises. For the Lakers, championships have been part of the organization's identity for decades, so another title doesn't carry that same level of historical impact. That's why this viewpoint ranks the championships from Giannis and Nikola Jokic above LeBron James's title when it comes to long-term value and significance. The final takeaway is pretty simple. If you're being generous, LeBron's 8 seasons in Los Angeles come out about even, with 1 bubble championship balancing out everything else that happened. Meanwhile, the championship runs by Giannis in Milwaukee and Jokic in Denver are presented as being on another level because of the markets they played in, the accomplishments they stacked up, and what those titles meant to their franchises. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.